As an accent-challenged person, I thought it'd be fun to give you some fun facts in that area. A, yes, this is my real accent, and B, I'm just bad at voiceover. I find it hard to read stuff out, try to get the right inflections, and read ahead at the same time. So I do many takes, and usually end up stitching the least worst bits of them together. That's why I sound weird. But enough about me, we all know the classic Mark Twain voice. Like Foghorn Leghorn after got kicked in the nuts.
Eavesdropping is by no means a proper activity for a gentleman. Nonetheless, the deed is done.
Because I know absolutely nothing about laws except how to evade them and not get caught.
Well, next I caught an Irish Catholic and put him in a cage. And as soon as he seemed tame, I added a Presbyterian.
No doubt the Almighty has said, here goes those two unaccountable freaks. They came in together, they must go out together.
Yeah, just like that. There's no recordings of Twain talking, but everyone didn't just decide that he sounded like that. You see, in his old age, one of Twain's neighbours was a young man called William Gillette, who grew up to be a famous actor in his day, and he recorded an impersonation of the Twain he knew.
If he even saw a straddle bug start to go anywhere, he'd bet on where he was going, and he'd follow that straddle bug from Mexico before he found out where he was going and how long he was on the voyage.
And he sounds just like Foghorn Leghorn after he got kicked in the nuts. But enough about Twain. Did you know that Lenin, the first ruler of the USSR, could speak English? And he did it with an Irish accent. Dublin in particular. He was living in London when he met a Dubliner and they gave each other language lessons. Now, there's no recordings of Lenin's Irish accent, but we do have multiple accounts of it from people who talked to him, including sci-fi writer H.G. Wells. While we don't have a recording of Lenin speaking English, we do have Bertrand Russell, the legendary early 20th century logician, impersonating him.
I was less impressed by Lenin than I expected to be. He said, you see, there are poor peasants and rich peasants, and we stirred up the poor peasants against the rich peasants, and they soon hanged them to the nearest tree. Ha, 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 ha. I didn't much like that.
It doesn't sound very Irish to me, but I assume that Russell couldn't do an Irish accent. Also, additional fun fact, Bertrand Russell's voice was the inspiration for how Davros speaks in Doctor Who.
To know that life and death on such a scale was my choice.